Design is intention. It's how we shape the world around us.
Design to me is storytelling. It's kind of limitless, but it has a sense of functionality that leads from a beginning to an end.
Design means making the world a better place and creating opportunities for other people to see the world in new ways.
When you walk throughout the city, you are hit the face with design constantly. From the murals you pass to the objects that you use to navigate your day, design is constantly around you. Design is about every part of your life. So my view is that if you understand it better, you can harness it to make your life better. The Design Museum Chicago started as a pop-up back in 2012, and after a couple of really successful pop-up iterations, became a permanent location. And through that permanent location, we're sort of growing into more of an institution at this point that is made up of many voices and lots of perspectives. We have created a museum that is for everybody. So many types of people don't get to see themselves in a museum, and we've created a space where that's possible.
I get excited about the fact that this museum is both free, but also frequently has important things to say that are coming from the communities in Chicago. The Design Museum also does exhibitions around other cultural moments that the city of Chicago has fostered. The House Museum exhibit that we did several years ago and continues to be a traveling exhibit. It is something that over the last 40 years has really taken over the world, quite frankly.
One of my favorite programs is called Flag Feast. We've commissioned around 100 flags from Chicagoans, and through that we've got typography and illustrations and paintings. We've taken them to Navy Pier, and they've been represented at the Taste of Chicago. So it takes the work and puts it in the public space in a really exciting way.
The Design Museum for me has just been a great point of inspiration. It feels good to enter into a space and kind of be taken back to what made me become an artist in the first place. Their ability to look beyond themselves and understand that they're a part of a whole. As artists, that's part of our responsibility.
My personal work has been impacted by the museum in so many ways. I've made a lot of friends through the museum and seeing what other people are creating and just seeing what Chicago is capable of, I find really, really inspiring.
The people in the museum have taught me how to talk about my work and feel confident about my work, trusting my own intuition. And I think that's one of the most valuable lessons that I've had, that is design with your intuition, not necessarily what people think is right. Because sometimes the intuition will give you that the little spark that will make the design be more interesting and more eye-catching.
One of my favorite things about the museum is that we're free and open to the public and accessible 7 days a week.
In a city where access to art, access to conversations around creativity has a price tag, I think we stand out as a place and an organization that trying to offer that in a much more open-handed way.
To build a museum that's intended to be free from the start is a really compelling idea that I've been attracted to for a long time. The first time I realized we needed to be free, we had put a pop-up exhibition at Block 37, and a nursing student came through. It was a $10 suggested donation, and she turned around at the door, and I literally chased her down and was like, no, come in, it's suggested. The next day we were free. Since then, we've learned that most museums make 3 to 5% at the door, and that's so easy to replace with some other income, with some other fundraising.
So we look for creative ways to make sure that we're able, in fact, to do that. We have wonderful partners, sponsors, and other philanthropists that do that.
I think that a museum is a public service. We're not doing this to make a business that we can sell in the future and make a bunch of money on. We're doing this to create narratives, to tell stories, to document things that are happening in the city of Chicago.
When you have spaces that are available, but most importantly accessible, that doesn't exclude people. It allows for anyone at any point, at any moment, to be able to come and connect. It really changes the way in which you experience your city.
In 5 years, I want us to be investing in way more talent, from interns to established designers. I'd like to see us in much more of a permanent location with our roots planted a little more deeply. Thank you so much for all your support of the museum. It means so much. We couldn't do it without you. It's truly just been the honor of my life to build something that's free, rooted in the community of Chicago, and meaningful to our city. Without your support, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be able to do all these things that we're doing. So I just want to say thank you.